This podcast is respectfully dedicated to all those that have lost their lives facing down their own evil doppelgangers. It's Harmless Phosphorescence. Drop your tacos or I'll blow your brains out. This is Thoreau Smiley. Who's with me today?
I'm your very own Josh Levitsky, sharing some of my mouth-watering recipes for butternut squash.
I'm Brian Lesh, and this movie gave me a stomachache in my brain.
Coming up, our very own Alaric Weber gets jiggy with it.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made, even this one. Then we gather some research into the production and the source material, and we tell you about it. This show? Yeah, we're going to tell you all about it. This show has been brought to you by our patrons. Hey, and you who aren't a patron, you can be one too. Just head over to patreon.com/harmless entertainment. We've got tons of bonus content there, including we have a Star Wars miniseries, holiday shows, Personal History of Sound, which is about albums that are important to us, the American Top 4, where we recommend songs to you every week. And, of course, we've got our monthly movie episodes. The bonus material starts at just $1 a month. For $1 a month, you can listen to an extra podcast. So,
and there's new shows all the time.
Yeah.
Thoreau's always coming up with something, so check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Help us keep the lights on over there. Now, this week, we are watching Citizen Toxie, the Toxic Avenger IV.
15 years ago, a legend was born, idolized by every man, desired by every woman. He's battled all forms of evil and won every time. And now he's returned to face his greatest enemy, himself.
Oh my God! It's the Toxic Avenger! Tromaville's favorite hideous uniform creature of superhuman size and strength! Toxie!
You gotta stop. Yourself. The evil version of you. You've gone power mad.
Say it ain't so!
It is so. The evil version of me?
Yeah. I never trusted Toxie!
Yeah! Toxie's a hero!
Heroes don't double amputate police chiefs! Stay back, everybody! These arms! And hurl 12-year-old children into brick walls! Yeah!
I've assembled the only team capable of bringing him in.
All right, Toxie, freeze right there!
Superheroes, Dolphin Man, Mad Cowboy, Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD, Master Bader!
I'm not going to die. Not in Jersey. We don't want to kill you, but we will.
Well, if that's a Toxic Avenger, where's that morbidly obese ward and sidekick, Fairness?
It's lard-ass punk. You're pregnant with 2 babies.
2 babies?
From what appears to be 2 completely different fathers. And that's preposterous.
You rule, Dad.
God?
Yeah, what do you want?
I'm your daddy now.
What the hell is going on here?
There can be only one.
Come to Mama.
blood.
Was it in a reverse subtitle?
Yeah, that was the official title. It wasn't the Toxic Avenger IV Citizen Toxie. It was Citizen Toxie, the Toxic Avenger IV.
He can't obey anyone's rules, Lloyd Kaufman.
And that was did they do the same thing with the Last Temptation of Toxie? Did they follow the same format with the name?
I don't remember. I don't know. To not answer you, Al.
That's fine.
Yeah. So this movie was released November 2nd, 2001 to help heal a nation that was struggling in the aftermath of...
Oh, yeah. What month? I'm sorry. I was adjusting.
November.
What month did it?
November 2nd, 2001. About 2 months later.
Happy birthday to me. This is my birthday gift from Lloyd Kaufman.
But it was ready to go in 2000, right?
Well, okay, so it was released in the U.S. in 2001. It was complete and showing in festivals, and it showed in Cannes in 2000.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell. I don't think it had happened yet because. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, no. The two towers are clearly visible in several shots.
Yeah, it's an old shot, but yeah, I bet he wouldn't have included it.
Yeah, no. I think he definitely would have cut it if it had been shot afterwards. Yeah. So
he's a man of integrity.
That's Lloyd Kaufman. I watched a short. Apparently, the DVD of this had a ton of bonus stuff on it with like a 2-hour making of. And I watched
the movie was almost 2 hours.
Yeah. And it had I watched about 10 minutes of them doing a script conference, him and the writers, and Lloyd Kaufman is just out of his goddamn mind.
He should have just taken the extra footage and made a second movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't encourage him.
Yeah.
He's Toxie 5 right away. Just boom.
He argues with the writers for like 5 minutes that the guy's name should be Toto instead of Tito because otherwise the audience won't get the joke.
Oh,
when he said
he was trying to do a Wizard of Oz sort of thing all along.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And he argued that well, because that at one point Toxie says we're not in Tromaville anymore, Tito.
Tromaville anymore, Toto. Yeah.
No, he says
my name's Tito.
Right, and Lloyd.
And then
originally in the script he said we're not in Tromaville anymore, Toto, because that was just his name, and the writers were like, no, let's call him Tito. And Lloyd Kaufman was like, no, they won't understand. The audience won't understand.
Oh, that's what we're going for?
Yeah.
I didn't understand anything in this fucking movie. That is the least of my concern. It's Tito's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Tito. It's my go-to fake name, honestly.
Tito.
Tito Dorito.
Puente or Jackson. So this movie ran 109 minutes and it cost $500,000 to make.
Mine ran longer than that.
109 minutes?
109
minutes? 144.
No, an hour.
You watched an hour and 44.
Right.
It wasn't an hour and 9 minutes. It was 109 minutes, which is...
I always mishear that. Every time you say that, I mishear you. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah. And it did not provide any sort of box office numbers. I can't imagine it made much. Probably made most of its money on DVD. However, we do have a date it was released, which means we will play the box office top 10 of the week.
Yes. This has become my favorite part.
So, boys, I'm not going to ask you where this opened because
nobody knew.
Yeah, it does
low.
not.
It was very low.
Yeah, it does not exist on the.
It was incognito.
Hard to quantify.
Yeah. So we're gonna just jump into the top 10, wherein I will say the the box office mojo taglines for each of these movies, and you will try to guess what movie it is, counting down from 10 to number 1. Coming in at number 10 for the week of November 2nd, 2001, a career jewel thief finds himself at tense odds with his longtime partner, a crime boss who sends his nephew to keep watch. Sorry. Anybody?
Yeah.
Heist.
I want to say it's the Thomas Crown. Heist. What?
Heist. Okay.
Yes,
I don't know what that is.
was that the Brando one?
Oh,
Brand-
no, that was that. No, that was the. Wait,
Was it?
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. At number 9.
No,
Yeah.
I thought that was the Freshman.
No. The Freshman was like 10 years earlier, but Brando did one with I think it was Heist. It was like his last movie. Frank Oz directed it.
Yeah, that's the one where he wouldn't take any direction from Frank Oz.
Yeah.
because he's Miss Piggy.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's...
so that one didn't have Matthew Broderick in it.
No. The Freshman was the one with Broderick, and that was about 10 years earlier.
All right.
Coming in at number 9, an innocent and naive girl in Paris with her own sense of justice decides to help those around her, and along the way discovers love.
Amelie?
Yes!
Wow,
Spot on, Al.
that's a great movie.
It really is, yeah. Yeah.
It was fun with my favorite part about that movie was the lawn gnome that traveled the world.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
It kept sending pictures back to her dad.
Yeah.
Didn't that become a thing?
Yeah.
In the zeitgeist.
I think it did become a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your little
And take pictures of it in places. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Coming in at number 8, when Danny witnesses his stepfather, Rick, murder a man. It's funny when they put the names in.
Of course, Rick murdered a man.
Of course.
What?
Danny's father, Frank, has to protect his son from the greatest danger.
Is it Rick and Danny?
Rick and Danny. It's
the greatest danger.
It's Rick and Danny.
Man himself.
It's Rick and Danny and Frank and Alice.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Starring-
What are these characters?
Starring John Travolta. Like that's going to help you.
Oh, is this Face Off?
No.
That had already come out.
Domestic disturbance.
Oh, of course. I remember Domestic Disturbance.
Who doesn't?
But yeah, think about it. All these movies 2 months after 9/11.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's one about beating your wife.
We don't know what to say.
Well, and this is probably the last batch of movies made prior to 9/11. So they're like,
Right,
we didn't know,
right.
guys. Sorry, just watch it.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy who wrote the animated movie about the Twin Towers, where they're anthropomorphic friends.
Oh, jeez.
We never got to see that cartoon.
And they sing that song, "We'll Always Be Together."
Yeah, exactly.
Standing tall.
Like, even Building 7, we like him too.
Like, hey guys.
The neighbor kid, Building 7.
Wasn't that the name of the building that was like
Yeah, the one that
2 blocks
little-
over that also collapsed?
Yeah.
Office of Naval Intelligence.
At number 7, a snowboarder's plans for his own snowboard park go awry when an ex-girlfriend returns to town. I have never ever heard of this movie.
And she steals snowboarding from the whole village.
Is this a Disney movie?
Ski School?
No.
Ski School.
There's one. It's like that. Zach Galifianakis is in this movie, I think.
Oh, maybe.
Frosty.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Cold Dogs.
Oh, yeah, you're thinking of the Cuba Gooding Jr. one?
Snowman.
Gleaming the Ice Cube.
Yeah. But,
let's see this.
Snow Dogs.
Oh, Snow Dogs. Yeah. It's not Snow
Snow
Dogs.
Dog 5.
This stars Flex Alexander, AJ Cook, David Denman,
Yeah, it's the one I'm thinking of.
and Zach
But I don't know.
Galifianakis. Yes.
Because they're like a team of ski medics or something.
Yeah, it's called Out Cold.
Oh, God damn it. I know this movie very well.
At number 6, a shallow man falls in love with a 300-pound woman because of her inner beauty.
Shallow Hal.
Yeah. Gwyneth Paltrow in a fat suit. At
Goop.
Yeah. At number 5, Jamal, an employee in Medieval World Amusement Park, after sustaining a blow to the head, awakens to find himself in 14th century England.
Oh, yeah, Black Knight.
Yeah, with Martin Lawrence.
Oh, man. Wow.
A kid in King Arthur's court. Well, that's the adaptation.
Yeah. I was thinking of a kid in King Arthur's court.
They made that movie.
Oh, I know. But yeah, that was the
you
title.
were thinking of that.
Yeah, I was thinking of that movie.
Face Off and Face Off.
So originally it was a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the original title. Yep.
Yeah. In order to, okay, here's the, what are we at? Number 3? No, yeah, number 4. Number 4. In order to power the city, monsters have to scare children.
Oh.
Yeah, Monsters Inc., right?
Yeah, obviously.
That came out around 9/11.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Yeesh. Yeah, things that you don't put together in your head.
But I remember everyone talking about it, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Young and old. So they got on that real quick afterward.
Don't think about 9/11. Think about monsters.
George W. told you to do that, actually.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Just keep shopping.
Some say it's like Toy Story or Bugs Life. I say it's more like Monsters Life.
Monsters Life? Or tie all them balloons. Do the monsters.
At number 3, Jesus. Retiring CIA.
Jesus, fucking, he's only at number 3.
Right. Retiring CIA.
Well, so it's a year and a half or almost 2 years after the the Millennium New Year 2000, January 2000.
Yeah.
So obviously Jesus has lost popularity. He's real big back in January
99.
He was
2000
December
99.
December
definitely.
99 really was peak Jesus.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because we just as the Bible says, if you don't write binary code correctly.
So if he's only down to number 3 right now in 2001, he's doing pretty good still.
Yeah.
He's still doing good.
He's still top 10.
His single's still dropping.
Number 3, retiring CIA agent Nathan Moore recalls his training of Tom Bishop while working against agency politics to free himself from his Chinese captors.
The buddy movie of the decade. I don't.
With Robert Redford and Brad Pitt.
The Last Castle?
No.
No clue.
Spy Game.
Yeah.
Spy Game. Because of the delay, I heard Buy Game.
Buy Game.
I was like, well, I guess if I wanted to see two dudes experiment, I guess Robert Redford and Brad Pitt aren't too bad.
Yeah, you could do much worse.
I can get over the age gap. It's Robert Redford. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he still looks rugged.
Yeah.
His windblown face from setting up film festivals.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe we have like another year until we actually have like a movie that stars that has Robert Redford in it that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Wow.
The man's still working. At number 2, a Navy navigator is shot down over enemy territory and is ruthlessly pursued by a secret police enforcer and the opposing troops. Meanwhile, his commanding officer goes to the beach. No, goes against orders in an attempt to rescue him.
Black Hawk Down?
No.
Behind Enemy Lines?
Yes, Behind Enemy Lines. I know you were thinking of the right movie, Josh. Black Hawk Down was the Mogadishu one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Based on a true story.
Yeah, but with Owen Wilson and Gene Hackman behind enemy lines.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Owen Wilson like trying to be an action star.
Right. try to be legit.
Yeah. Just like, look at those missiles. Wow.
Wow.
And the number one movie of the week.
Toxie 4, Citizen Toxie. Duh.
You'd think.
We all remember.
Yes. An orphan boy learns the terrible truth about himself and his family.
Sounds like the same movie that we watched.
It does. I don't know. The number one movie?
Yeah.
Oh, was this Macaulay Culkin?
No. Macaulay Culkin, he was like 20. And
well, that would have been hilarious if he was an orphan boy at 20.
Yeah. No. His parents are alive. The grip of other Culkins.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh, Jesus.
I forgot that. Those were coming out around.
Bitch. That was great.
I remember those as coming out later.
The terrible truth about his family.
I was gonna say that I don't think I'd seen any of those movies on that top 10 list until you got to the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That was a
who hasn't seen.
The post 9/11 like big blockbusters were all wizard based. Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings.
Interesting. Yeah. Like you said in production before that, but
yeah.
It's kind of a bummer of a top 10.
Yeah, kind of is. That's yeah. So yeah, that was our box office top 10 of the week, which brings us to Citizen Toxie. So I didn't look into any of these actors or people because I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
I'm going to point out the ones I noticed as we go along.
Yeah.
And then obviously there are some people in the Lloyd Kaufman company that I don't know their name, but they all came back.
Right.
Mostly. Exactly.
And I have a list of cameos. I don't know if we want to go through with that or if we want to mention it as we go.
Let's do it as we go.
Yeah.
All right. We'll do the cameos as we go then. Yeah. So this movie starred Dave Matty as the Toxic Avenger / Noxious Avenger.
Noxious Offender.
Noxious Offender, sorry. Clyde Lewis as the voice of the Toxic Avenger. Heidi.
That's a good voice.
Yeah, he was fine. Heidi Stierson as Sarah / Claire. Joe Fleischaker as Chester / Lardass. Paul Kermsey as Sergeant Kabuki Man. And Ron Jeremy as Mayor Goldberg.
Who was not the original Sergeant Kabuki Man.
No, he was not.
Wait a minute. That wasn't Corey Feldman playing the Kabuki?
That was? Wait, what?
Corey Feldman was not Kabuki.
Really?
Yeah.
Corey Feldman was not playing the Kabuki guy.
That's insane. Like I don't think it looked. I mean, all I could see was Kabuki, but it sounded just like him.
Yeah, no, okay. That was not him.
Wow.
And so we won't go into the cameos. I really have nothing else to say about the production of this movie.
So we filmed it in the in 2000, late 90s?
99, 2000, yeah.
And he put up his own money, or did he have investors? We don't know.
I didn't. I mean, Troma at this point was a machine, so I imagine it was.
That's true. You're right.
It's incredible that this was released 2000 and then 2001, but it still looked like it was made in the 80s.
Well, that's a whole point that I have to make. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It's a very
Correctamundo.
It's a very 80s style, like Troma movie.
Okay, well,
yeah.
They may have been trying for that, but
I think they were. That's what I was going to say. Instead of using the innovations and technologies, which they did use, the gore stuff was better, but they. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, they didn't try to
70s. Yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of making it in the time that they made, he was intentionally trying to make it look like an earlier Toxie movie from the early 80s, etc., but in a very forced and weird way.
Yeah.
And it was almost as if he missed doing it that old way, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and okay, I would like to point out this movie has 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie
beloved
is verified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
People are stupid.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, especially people who go on the internet to participate in something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this was a hard movie to watch twice.
Oh, I did not try to watch it twice.
Oh, yeah. Fuck no. I tried my best to watch it once. It was a challenge.
Oh, and we had gotten to the point that, especially after Kabuki Man, that like we were having fun and we could find things to enjoy about them.
Yeah.
And so I had that same, we all said it to each other.
Yeah.
I had that sort of, this will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens.
We'll be saying farewell to Lloyd Kaufman and Toxie. I remember discussing this. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. Fuck that.
It was so hard. So hard to watch.
Yeah. Harder to watch than the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if it was off air, but we said that like the things that troubled me from the first one, the sexual assault in the Taco Bell, the shotgun to the baby's face, all of that, I now have found that does not insult my sensibilities nearly to the degree that this shit does. The stuff he does with the mentally ill, I know we'll get into that.
Oh God, that's awful. There's just scene after scene, and the amount of boobs and excrement in this film.
I was going to say way more shit than ever, and way less children.
The blood. I mean, there were some details that were a little over the top.
For Lloyd Kaufman. Stuff. It used to be all about the blood and gore, but this movie, he brought out the shit and the piss.
Yeah, it was just gross out. It was just gross out.
Political comment. Way too much shit.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Do you guys just want to go into the movie? Because I'm sure we'll have plenty to say. Let's just
kick this down.
Get through this. So here we go. This is Citizen Toxie, the Toxic Avenger IV. We open with a voiceover by Mr. Stanathy Lee.
Did anyone notice his credit in the end titles?
Peter. He was credited as Peter Parker.
Yep.
Wow.
Credited as Peter Parker. And Stan the man gave the voiceover.
Yes, he did. Giving that's the comic book movie Godfather himself given his blessing. We open up with him recapping the first movie. A disclaimer that the first two sequels are not canon.
Strange.
Why?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's so stupid. Why say that?
Yeah, there was no sort.
Two runs. Sequels made.
Yeah, there was no.
Oh, you had Frozen.
Yeah, there was no consistency, anyways. So, why bother?
Yeah,
he makes a point. This is the real sequel.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's like you made each and every one.
Lloyd.
It's not like Richard Donner going.
Lloyd.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not like a Snyder cut situation. There was no one else involved.
Yes,
at all.
Exactly.
Like fighting with himself in public.
Yeah.
So then we get credits and we open on the Tromaville school for the very special. And it's just bad off the bat.
It's a special day at the school, right?
Yes, it's
take a Mexican to lunch day.
Yes, They're having tuna tacos.
Tuna tacos? I did not catch that it was tuna.
Yeah,
I did not.
But that's crazy.
They mentioned it was tuna tacos. So just right off the bat, a ton of people going like full Simple Jack.
Yeah, Yeah, it was just terrible to watch. It always is terrible to watch people pretend to be mentally disabled or different, or it was so bad. So bad. Do you think he was at a meeting and they were like, okay, Lloyd, it's 2001. We literally can't make fun of these people, and that was like the only thing left on the list. So he really leaned into it.
It might have been because it wasn't until it wasn't until 2010 that like you really saw like big name stars stop doing that kind of role. Like
after Tropic Thunder, I think.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Really, that might have been the dividing line. It is.
Well, they used the word retard in that, and then the Simple Jack thing of never going full.
Yeah.
So, that was the last time I heard it in pop culture.
It was about 10 years ago that Giovanni Ribisi and Juliette Lewis movie where they are two mentally disabled people that fall in love came out because I just
want to live on their own.
Yeah. So that's the last major one I can remember doing that. And they had it.
That was way earlier than Tropic Thunder because I remember who
Temple
I watched.
Grandin.
You're talking about.
There was the Temple Grandin movie with Claire Danes.
Oh, that's right.
That's a little different though, but that's another movie that I can think of in recent history with somebody playing someone who is,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to look at what the intention is. And this one, totally. I think, he didn't have anyone else to make fun of without getting shit.
Yeah, exactly.
The school's terrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
I read that in 2003, the word, I'm going to say it, the word retard was polled to be the most offensive word for the disabled.
Oh,
yeah.
And I'm wondering if this movie didn't help that along a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then I don't know how many people watch this movie, but the sheer number of times that they use the word, it was gross.
It was written on the back of Tito's jacket.
It was.
Let's not just focus on the word. I mean, let's just dive into this shit. This room full of people acting.
Doing it.
I mean, and honestly, it's 2020. The thing that comes to mind is the president mocking the reporter.
Yes.
It is the
That's all I saw.
It is the same physical motions and that like twitchy,
especially Tito,
crumpled up kind of personification. And it's essentially this bullshit oversimplification. It's so upsetting to see a room full of people do it together. And then we are supposed to see them as victims.
Right.
Which is even more frustrating. It's like, fuck all of you.
Yeah, it's awful. And they compound that with take a Mexican to lunch day.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so awful.
And they misspell pinata on the
they stuck a Y in there.
There were like
the poster on the wall.
15 terrible misspellings of the word Mexican itself. I mean, it was like a fucking Venn diagram of offense. Like,
so many things at once. It's hard to.
Tito is a rebel, though.
He is. He is a rebel.
Okay. And you can tell, I can't believe I'm saying this. You can tell by his delivery sometimes that he's probably was a decent indie actor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has the most nuanced approach to playing
that's it.
Someone that is disabled.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I knew that. I'm not saying he was acting well in this.
But like out of the ensemble cast of people, terribly portraying.
Yes.
He was definitely playing it the least cartoonishly of them.
And throughout the movie, he did end up delivering some funny lines.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. This movie made me laugh.
He had a lot of jokes that weren't.
Maybe.
There were jokes that landed. The newscaster guys I thought were legitimately funny. There were moments, there were jokes, but it did not in any way out.
Team, and they're normally terrible. We'll talk about.
I laughed at one moment in this whole fucking movie, and that was it.
I think 2 times. Okay, but the action starts right up.
Okay, yeah. So
with
the diaper
mafia.
Yeah, they burst in and they start terrorizing the students.
And Toxie mentions later he runs down the different, or maybe it was the newscasters. Well, anyways, there's a no pants mafia.
Yeah. Yes.
So there's a diaper mafia, and then that's the last step till
no pants. Yeah.
Okay, so they were disgusting, distracting.
Yeah, it was really gross. Really, yeah. And okay, so they, let's see, there's a press conference at the police chief of Tromaville where we find out that a police officer, who I just, in my mind, kept calling Officer Hitler, works with the diaper mafia.
Well, you didn't recognize who he was?
Who was he?
It was Cigar Face.
Oh my God, I did not recognize him at all.
But Officer Hitler is much better.
Yeah,
that fits
him in this movie.
The actor is Dan Snow, but his character in this movie is Sergeant Theodore Kaczynski.
Because later on we find out, spoiler alert, that he's in on it and in on the bombing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so, they're killing a hostage every half hour if their demands aren't met, which is to have the real bikini news crew come interview them.
Do you guys remember that?
The
bikini... It wasn't on mainstream TV, but in other countries.
That was a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
for a while.
God damn.
Maybe some stations did it here.
There's like a naked news thing. Not to get into naked people.
I think that was in Russia. Yeah.
Getting into naked people is what we're all about.
Well, they would slowly disrobe after each story.
Yeah.
It's the most genius way to watch an entire program. They're like, I got a way to get them to not leave the room. All right. Oh, so the guys, the newscasters, as we were saying, they did have some funny lines. Those two guys are called the Sklar brothers. And they are stand-up comics. And maybe it's changed now, but originally all the material was about being an identical twin. And they've tried to give them shows. They tried to give them a sports-related show on ESPN. Everything they've done has failed. Yeah. So they were the funniest people in this movie, but yet they are the least funny people in the world.
Yes, which tells you something. Okay.
So the newscast is TNA 69 News.
Of course it is.
I didn't catch that.
Because Lloyd Kaufman is the master of subtlety.
We also 12 years old.
Yeah. Perpetually 12.
We also see about this time the first appearance of Lemmy.
Yeah, Lemmy.
Oh, yeah.
Lemmy, our first real cameo. I mean, because I'm not counting. I think Ron Jeremy had too big of a part to be a cameo.
Yeah. But
Lemmy
Kilmister, he kept coming back scene after scene.
I was surprised,
throughout. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a one and done, but yeah, he was there for the whole day.
For those of you. So the bikini news crew shows up, and when the diaper mafia is about to kill a pregnant teacher, the bikini reporter bursts out of the costume and is the Toxic Avenger. The obese cameraman.
It seemed more like a transformation like he's done in the past. It seemed more like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he learned how to change into other people.
I guess.
The form of other people.
No, there's a lot of stuff in this that's just not explained.
Yeah, let's just not dwell on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I have to dwell on a little bit when the really real bikini news crew showed up for the first time. When she walks up, she said, "I'm sorry, I'm here so late. It takes time to change."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Now I get it.
Layers,
At
man.
first I thought it was a joke about the bikini, but no, it takes time to change into a woman out of, So,
right, so the first
Avenger has his mystique now.
Yeah.
She's like, I got to let a few kids die so I can change.
Yeah. So, okay, and we find out that the cameraman is Toxie's sidekick, Lardass.
We've seen him in every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But he never had a role so meaty.
Yeah. Okay, so they kill a bunch of...
He's his He's not only his sidekick, but he's also his ward.
Yes, yeah. Robin style.
At the dump shack. I don't know.
Yeah, lives at Toxie's shack at the dump with him and Sarah.
Yeah.
Why are they so desperate to have a kid? They have a ward.
Yeah. Well, and no, but I mean, that's kind of funny because he's actually clearly older than them.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So that guy Tex, the Diaper Mafia leader, he reminded me a lot of Matthew Lillard.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Especially in Scream.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so...
Shorter version?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Matthew Lillard was played super dirty with the new Scoob movie.
Yeah, we talked about that, actually.
That's messed up. Okay. So
I don't want to see it. They replaced him as Shaggy's voice without telling him.
He found
out
on Twitter.
In the movie.
He found out on Twitter.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he still voices new Scooby products, like the TVs and the movies. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so, okay, they kill a bunch of the Diaper Mafia, but unfortunately the bad guys end up killing a ton of the students. The head bad guy has a kill switch strapped to his chest, and if his heart stops beating, a bomb will destroy the building. Toxie kills him anyways. They have 5 seconds to go until the bomb explodes, and that's a whole bit they do with the bomb counting down super slowly.
So during that whole scene, Toxie uses a bunch of the special kids as human shields.
I literally wrote that down. I have never seen him do that.
Jesus.
When Tex pulled out the giant machine gun again and started firing, Toxie just runs behind the children.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I thought he was going to go over and shield them, and have the bullets bounce off him or be absorbed in his, but no. Human shields. Yep. Almost every kid but 2
died.
Yeah.
He had a responsibility. God damn it.
So, okay, with 3 seconds to go, Toxie runs home to impregnate his wife because they're trying. So they have sex. And Toxie wants to get back to the school quickly. Sarah thinks he spends too much time crime fighting and not enough time with her. She thinks Lardass could do more of it alone. Toxie runs back to the scene of the crime with just 2 seconds left.
Yeah, so this was all 3 seconds or so.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and that,
we also missed where he says this would be easier with a mop, and he runs off to the janitor's closet and finds Tito doing drugs.
Yeah,
and talks him down from doing drugs or something like that.
Despite Tito's makes sense, his logical reasoning, actually.
Right. He says, "Oh, you're pretty articulate for a druggy special student."
And then he mispronounced that word, Tito.
Yeah.
It was funny to see people that looked the way they looked in 2001 mingled with people who looked the way they looked in the 80s. You could tell such a stark difference that the human aesthetic is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tito's he's a leading man. Lardass is.
Just before Toxie rips Tex's guts out, so then that's what starts the bomb.
Right.
Because his heart stops. The teacher who's like strung up like a pregnant piñata.
Right. Yeah. But she's maintaining.
Says, "You were always my best student, Toxie."
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. So
she should have said Melvin because Toxie wasn't born until Melvin was an adult.
She might have said Melvin.
She said Toxie.
She did say Toxie. Okay.
Yeah. I caught it.
Yeah, so we find out that Toxie was a student there. Okay, so...
And,
we always thought there was something wrong with Melvin.
That's true.
Back in episode 1.
Episode 1. I like the joke. The Braille pregnancy test was funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so there's a Sergeant Kabuki Man shows up then. He's drunk and outside. And then so Toxie...
and then he lures a woman behind the dumpster gate.
Yeah.
The reporter
sort of forces her in.
Yeah.
I felt like that was a very dark and inexplicable turn for Kabuki Man.
Yeah. So why is
He's drunk and rapey in this.
Yeah,
very much so.
What is up with that? Did we miss something in the Kabuki Man saga?
The Kabuki Man universe.
Yeah,
off screen shit got weird.
Yeah, it really did.
Anyway.
So anyways,
Eli Roth has a cameo around this point.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Oh, and we also have already missed the James Gunn cameo.
Oh, not yet.
He
not
plays
yet?
Stephen Hawking. Yeah. No, not yet. He's the Stephen Hawking quantum physicist.
That's right. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. With the penis pump.
Okay, yes. All right. So Toxie, shepherds the kids out while Lardass eats the bomb.
Covered in peanut butter.
Yeah.
Covered in peanut butter. He's like, so you've heard of a New York minute? You've never lived. You've had a Tromaville second.
Yeah.
Just fucking forever.
Oh my God. Yes.
They got a lot. They got a lot done in 5 seconds.
I was really we've already got a lot of people whose heads get crushed and they have explosive diarrhea as that happens. It's happened multiple times already. And now Lardass farts, and right as he does that, when a diaper gang woman finishes having sex in the background and lights a cigarette, igniting the fumes, causing an explosion.
Nothing. So inadvertently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the cop in a few minutes who says, "Make guns go boom."
Yeah.
That was Lucifer from Toxic 3.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Actor Rick Collins.
That is he.
Mm-hmm.
The Apocalypse CEO.
Yeah.
/ Lucifer.
So then Toxie's outside. He mourns the death of Lardass while the police open fire on him. This was all super confusing to me because
I was going to say some cops some cops don't like.
Oh, okay, but it made sense because it had the little whompy sound.
Al, I think you have a very loose definition of making sense. But
let's hear them.
So it had the warpy sound that you would hear in all the cartoons from
where they
20
switched
years,
dimensions.
From 20 years prior when they would switch dimensions.
Yeah.
It totally made sense. But ready, aim.
I see. So we're already in that alternate universe. We were seeing some cops from one and so.
Yeah, well, we were.
Right.
So Toxie came out of the building and he was in Amortville, not Tromaville.
Correct.
All right.
It was a different police chief.
Did we ever figure out what made him switch dimensions?
No.
Yes. Dr. Flem Hawking explained it. It was a simultaneous explosion. Yes, James Gunn. It was a simultaneous explosion in both dimensions that caused them to cross over.
Oh.
Okay.
That's fairly clever for Tromaville.
Yeah.
Also, when Toxie comes out before he gets shot or as he's getting shot, you can see it's not the school for the very special anymore. It is the Amortville Juvenile Detention Center.
Okay.
Oh. It looks like the high school from Rock and Roll High School. I don't know if it was, but I think I did laugh out loud when he rips the guy's arms off when Noxie does, and then he's like, he's armed.
He's armed.
Yeah.
And then he gives the arms to a bystander, and he's all hand-me-downs.
Oh,
yeah. After he strangles that woman with the severed arms.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
There were some good puns.
Yeah.
Okay, so Toxie runs, jumps in a car with evil Kabuki Man who calls him Noxie, and they flee as the police give chase. Meanwhile, back in the Tromaville universe, Noxie comes out and starts killing everyone in the crowd. They think he's Toxie. Then we cut back to the car chase where Toxie and evil Kabuki Man kill an old lady and escape the police who are chasing them in a red Toyota Corolla.
on this one side road that he was able to find in New York.
Did you guys notice the unicycle clown?
Yes, yeah, from Kabuki Man, I saw him.
Yeah,
I did not.
It might have been direct footage from that movie.
Yeah,
because this car chase ends in the car flipping 25 feet in the air and landing on its wheels. At which point, Kabuki Man says, "This is an American-made car. Every time they flip 25 feet in the air and crash down, they blow up. Let's get out of here." And then they exit the vehicle, and the car blows up.
Yep, just like Ralph Nader predicted.
Yeah, yes.
Unsafe at any height.
So this was reused footage from Kabuki Man.
Yeah. You could tell. Because if you do look at the bystanders and the area around the car stunt, it was 1980 or whatever the first year was.
Clearly not 2000. Okay, so Noxie is still being mistaken for Toxie as he walks the peaceful streets of Tromaville. And then we get the split screen.
You call him Toxie, and I call him Noxie.
Both
Toxie, Noxie. Let's call the whole thing off. Thank you for letting me get through that.
Both of them in split screen are confused by what's going on.
What the hell is going on here?
He doesn't have a ward to wildly speculate.
Yeah.
And now we cut to Dr. Flem Hawking.
Okay, and here's James Gunn.
Noted science guy.
Yeah.
Obligatory exposition.
Yes.
At this point, I think he was married to Jenna Fisher, but I looked through the credits to see if she was an extra, but her name's not in there.
Yeah, okay, so he explains there's an evil dimension where there exists an opposite Tromaville called Amortville, and an opposite Toxic Avenger called the Noxious Offender. Then there's some disabled...
And mort being French for death.
Yes. You are correct, sir.
And trauma being trauma for trauma.
Yes.
Well, I didn't know if I mentioned it, but during the battle royale out front, I loved the two dudes manning the population sign.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just constantly keeping track, like the guys in a baseball field.
Yeah.
One was a redneck, white trash-looking guy. One was a guy in a black guy in a dashiki. They were just there with their stacks and numbers.
Trying to keep
on a
count.
baseball game. Yeah.
Trying to keep count of how many people were still alive.
Yeah.
That was a nice, harmless joke.
It was. Yeah, that joke didn't hurt anybody.
It's like, but just wait.
Yeah. So, okay, at this point, we get some disabled impotence jokes. Then
we get the phrase scrotal bulb.
Yeah. Finally.
Just squeeze my scrotal bulb.
Finally in canon, they've said scrotal bulb.
I thought it was just something my grandmother said, but I guess it is a thing.
Oh, God.
I'm joking. You said finally. Right.
And Toxie runs through the set and the doctor's killed by a car. So
I die, but my insane theories live on.
Yeah.
Toxie and Noxie walk around their different dimensions. Then Hitler Ted finds Noxie. Meanwhile, Toxie comes across the evil dimensions diaper gang, raping and beating up a couple of kids from the school that crossed dimensions with him. It's Tito and Sweetie Honey. She says her house has disappeared, so Toxie takes them back to his shack in the dump, but it's gone.
I don't know why. Sweetie Honey was certainly annoying, but she wasn't offensive to me. Not really clear why. As opposed to Tito, you know?
Yeah, not as much.
Well, she didn't say much.
It was almost like
it was more of an infantilized sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, she was more just playing a little girl than disabled.
Right, there are full tumblers dedicated to it, but yeah, she's just playing a baby.
Yeah.
Anyways,
okay, so Toxie discovers the pregnancy test in the lunch that Sarah packed for him, and he finds out Sarah's pregnant. He tells the kids to stay there while he goes to look for Sarah, but as soon as he leaves, they also take off. Then, meanwhile, back in Tromaville, Toxie and Ted are bonding. They come across a public meeting about Toxie. The citizen...
with Ron Jeremy. He's the mayor.
Yeah, mayor.
It's a press conference.
It's a press conference.
Okay.
And the other sleazy, chubby dude with Ron Jeremy, his name is Al Goldstein. He is the publisher of Screw magazine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
involved in politics over the years.
Yeah.
Right.
At this point, the citizenry is upset that Toxie has turned bad. Ted tells Noxie.
Except for two chicks. There are two chicks that really love press conferences. Out in the crowd. Yeah.
Ted tells Noxie to head out while he watches what happens. The mayor tells the crowd that he'll bring Toxie in for questioning, not vigilante justice, with the help of a team of superheroes. Al, I'm sure you've got a list of them.
I do.
That's
okay, so we have Vibrator, Dolphin Man, who is inexplicably spraying water out of his blowhole.
I feel like we saw, this is not a joke. I feel like we saw Dolphin Man before. Like one of the animorphs that Lloyd had in the last movie. But maybe I'm wrong.
Dolphin Man felt familiar.
He did to me too.
Yeah.
I felt safe.
Like an old friend.
Like a hug from the sea.
Old friend.
Mad Cowboy. Masturbator.
Mm-hmm.
And the very drunk Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD.
Yes. So I'd like to point out that there are two people here that basically just pleasure themselves as their superpower.
Yeah. And possibly others, but not masturbating.
Yeah.
The vibrator, that's kind of an Orgasmo nod, I thought.
Yes. And a mystery man. But there are a couple Orgasmo. All right.
I'm wondering if like the X-Men had an effect on Lloyd Kaufman, like with the team of superheroes. Like, was he trying to do that?
Yeah, I wonder.
It was so bad though when the Mad Cowboy comes out and squirts his milk out of his udders. Out of his udder.
It was so gross that they cut back to Lemmy and he goes, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, totally. And no, Lemmy set up the joke. He's like, what are they going to walk out a walking cow now? And then,
then it comes out. But his Jesus Christ was so sincere.
It was.
It's like, oh, Jesus.
That was not acting.
So
that was real.
So the joke that made me laugh the most in this entire movie was Ron Jeremy's, where he said, and then we'll get to what we're all here for, the puppet show.
Yeah.
The big show.
So Noxie finds Toxie's house. Meanwhile, Toxie finds a couple of rednecks dragging an African-American man behind their truck.
Let's just skip it. That was so inexcusable.
That was
just fucking.
Yeah.
Except that redneck number one, who was credited as Lucifer, dragging redneck number one, was Mitch Cohen, who was the original Toxic Avenger.
Yes.
It's just that literally in modern history, like 20 years ago, there was a dude that was murdered that way in Texas. Yeah. And it's a preferred, this sounds disgusting, it's a preferred method for the racists down there.
Yeah.
They don't burn the crosses kind of things. They drag. Yeah. So
the end result is we get a headless black character in a bag.
Yes.
Right.
It's carried around.
And
he's funny.
And gay jokes.
He's funny. He could have just had a body and been a character.
Yeah. I'll also skip the like blackface lynching and we'll go to Pompey. He's the head.
Yep.
He's now a sidekick. So Toxie leaves Pompey with the plastic surgeon, who tells his assistants to send the head to the hot dog plant. But luckily,
and one of them says, "What are you doing here?" Noxie was supposed to be inspecting the hot dog factory. So he's the health inspector, or why does he tour factories at Tromaville?
You found a hole in this otherwise airtight script.
It's part of his protection.
Well, he's
racket.
the Noxie offender.
He's privatized all of the government himself, and
Larry the Cable Guy.
So does he have to go to the hot dog plant and make sure that it's like terrible?
Yeah. Make sure that there's like dead rats and hair everywhere.
Yeah.
Not make sure that it's safe, but make sure it's awful.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's Bizarro Factory, so yeah, it would be the unsanitary health.
the unhealthy.
I get it now, guys. I get it. I get it now.
Okay, so Tito and Sweetie find him, but they're all discovered by the evil mad cowboy. Toxie, meanwhile, discovers the bad dimension's lardass, who is a particle physicist fallen on hard times, named Chester. He's making it as a crack whore. He was married to Sarah, who in this dimension is Claire, but she was kidnapped by Noxie.
He didn't say that he was married to her. He just said that she was his girl.
Okay, he was dating then.
But it was, yeah.
I didn't mean to get the labels wrong.
They were hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, do we have to put a label on it?
They were chilling and Netflixing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, lardass? And then Chester says, fuck you, Mr. Lumpy Head. It's a condition.
Yeah.
I don't know, but somebody said Chocolate Starfish, and that's my band name. I've already called dibs on the record.
Well, wait.
That's a little bit later.
Well, they mentioned it a few times, but you guys know that was the name of a Limp Bizkit album.
Right now.
That was the name of a Limp Bizkit album.
Starfish.
Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water. Which shows you
gonna cross that out.
Which shows you what kind of band they were.
Yep, I got you.
Meanwhile, back in Tromaville, Noxie makes the pregnant Claire have sex, I guess, with him, although they didn't really show it, and a lesbian crack whore he picked up along the way. Toxie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back in Amortville, finds Noxie's mansion, where he discovers he's got a power bottom slave and Claire tied up, who is not blind but deaf. That like bondage slave guy was really aggressive.
So
over the top.
In a different movie. He was in like American Horror Story.
And here we introduce the topless sign language interpreter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And her sign language, the sign language that Claire was doing was just
stupid.
Yeah, it was so dumb.
Yeah.
I would like to point.
I like
Chester.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that nobody can see that.
But. Yeah. Holding her breast and saying chest.
It's
all bad.
And I'd like.
And one of the bad guys says, like, you read sign language, right? Well, listen to this or listen up.
So the actress who portrayed the topless sign language interpreter, she was also one of the girls back at the press conference.
Making out. Yeah, the one that really loves press conference. Yeah, she must have been the interpreter for that press conference and got very distracted.
Probably was.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was just going to say, Sarah, again, in this movie, like you mentioned before, is not only blind, but constantly in the middle of an earthquake.
Yep, still.
Again, just flailing wildly everywhere, even though it's a new actress. So let's see. Back in Tromaville, Noxie scares away the crack whore with his humongous and deformed penis.
Which we don't see at this point.
Not yet.
But at this point.
He's also
big end reveal.
He's not getting turned on. He's not getting turned on by the sex. He's getting turned on by a photo of an atom bomb.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, yeah. like any of us would.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, totally. Or maybe it was a hydrogen bomb. I don't know.
It's so hard to tell.
You're a science guy, Al. You should know.
Let's not fight.
So, okay. Meanwhile, Toxie tells Claire that he's not Noxie and that he was sent by Chester. Then Noxie is about to rape Claire when he's interrupted by Nazi Ted. I'm so confused when he impregnated her because we never really, it never really seemed to happen.
I think it was right then before. I think he probably got a little in there.
Well, apparently it takes him.
I don't want to think about that.
Or a second and a half.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Okay, so Toxie, on his way out with Claire, is set upon by the evil Kabuki Man. They fight. Noxie and Ted murder the mayor, and then Noxie is just the mayor, apparently.
That's how that works.
That's how it works. Yeah, trial by combat.
If you kill the current mayor.
It's like a dojo. You walk in and challenge the master.
Spirit passes in. Yeah.
Yeah. Which that is not how the dojo my 7-year-old son went to worked.
Did he try and challenge the master and get his ass kicked? Is that what you're saying?
Just like a random guy coming in off the street. I will fight you, and then I will teach the little dragons.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wait, so it doesn't work
That
like
attitude
that?
that attitude would be hilarious in normal situations.
Right. Okay, so
I will challenge this cashier, and then I will become the cashier. Counter. Okay.
Interviews are a thing of the past. Okay, so Noxie, let's see, Toxie and Evil Kabuki Man fight. Toxie runs into the Mad Cowboy's hot dog factory, where he fights.
Butcher shop.
Yes, where he fights them both. He finds Sweetie, Pompey, and Tito there. They all escape their bonds and help him kill Mad Cowboy, and they escape from Kabuki Man.
So the Mad Cowboy, he gets knocked out for a while, so that Kabuki Man and Toxic Avenger can fight. But when he wakes up, first he checks his udder, and then he checks his crotch, or presumably his dick.
Yes.
So again, confirming that he has an udder and a penis.
I mean, it's 2020. Okay. The fact that he can produce milk is a little befuddling.
He's a trans cow.
Yeah,
I don't think that we're going for that necessarily.
No, I don't think. I
don't want to give Lloyd Kaufman any credit for that.
I think he just doesn't understand how cows work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably.
Chalk it up to ignorance more than anything.
They all give milk, right?
Yeah, they're cows. Yeah. That's what cows do.
Bulls and cows are totally different. They're totally different. Races of thing, or not races, but
species.
Species.
Yeah, bulls and cows are two separate species.
Yeah. People are stupid.
Okay, so back in Tromaville, we get a Citizen Kane homage, wherein Mayor Noxie, pretending to be Toxie, kills a bunch of people.
What's that on your face, Toxie?
Nose blood. Yeah, the Citizen Kane references.
Yeah,
the only
one, the ones that gave this its name.
Yeah. So they were talking about the mayor's estate, Tromadu.
Yes.
The Playboy Mansion, right?
Yeah.
And, did you guys see at the end of the credits? During the thanks? I don't know how far. If Al, did you watch through the end of the credits?
I watched through the end, but thanks for
I did. Enlighten me, though.
Okay, so they said thanks to a lot of people, and they said except for Hugh Hefner, who asked to be cut out of the movie.
So did he get cut out?
I didn't see him, but that is the Playboy Mansion. So I have a feeling
in the IMDb credits, he is listed uncredited as the president.
Okay.
And I watched it twice, and I didn't see him both times. I was looking for him both times.
Yeah, I think he got cut out. I mean, obviously, he let them film at the Playboy Mansion, but he apparently asked to be cut out and pissed off Lloyd Kaufman.
That's crazy.
Well, because I'm sure Lloyd came in with like, I'm doing this. It's based on Citizen Kane. I need a location for Xanadu. You know, he sold it like that. Then Hugh finds out it's eating diapers and worse shit.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean Hugh loved a veneer of class at least.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
he's like, me and Dick Gregory and Shel Silverstein watched The Toxic Avenger. William F. Buckley wrote a piece on it.
God, I wish
we were not amused.
We were not amused. Oh, sorry.
So there's the group of superheroes is distraught. They don't want to do it. There's that bit with Dolphin Man giving the speech. Then they all go get killed.
It was, Mad Cowboy gave
yeah.
the mooing speech.
Yeah, that's right. Mad Cowboy. Then they're all killed by Noxie except Sergeant Kabuki Man, who runs away. Drunkenly stumbles into Toxie's shack and passes out with a Kabuki penis out on top of a tied-up Claire. I only mention that because it's apparently a plot point.
Yeah. The Kabuki wig hair, crotch hair was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, back in Amortville, Claire finds Chester, and they celebrate their reunion carnally. With cheese.
Oh my God.
With cheese.
Yes.
So that was the what's his face? The actor that played Toxie.
Lardass.
Yeah, well, yeah, Lardass. But the actor that played Toxie was the cop client of his. Out of makeup.
Right. Huh. Okay.
Far out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, back in Tromaville, Claire is apparently now been freed, so she goes to the doctor, who tells her she has 2 fetuses from 2 different fathers in her, and she must abort one or she will explode because one is evil. And there's Corey Feldman.
Dr. Corey Feldman.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was killing it, man.
He was good, yeah.
He was great in this scene.
Yeah, he's an actor.
He was, and you can tell he's actually like a real actor.
Right.
Yeah.
With a giant stupid mustache, but
still.
Right, yeah.
But he knew what kind of movie he was in, and he was going for it, but at the same time actually like pulling off a character. Yeah.
He was more fun than I expected him to be. He was a little moment of sunlight in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not funny though. We totally missed it. The funny scene was Kabuki Man drunk stumbling through the fucking junkyard. Oh, my leg. Oh, my arm. I gotta piss. Oh, God. This movie is so terrible.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
Okay, so then Claire goes to not Claire.
What the fuck
Sarah.
happened to Kabuki Man?
Yeah, what? He was doing fine at the end of the movie. His movie.
Yeah. It was startling.
Just a complete change in this character.
He and Toxie went on some really fucking rough missions together, was what I assumed. Because they're now friends. Yeah. They're now best friends.
Yeah.
Maybe there's another trauma movie somewhere in between Kabuki and this one, wherein like they had a cameo together, and like I don't know. I really don't care to find out.
Cartoons.
Oh, the cartoons, yeah.
Oh yeah.
We don't need to watch those, but it's probably the cartoons.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't make any more movies, Slade Kaufman. Stop.
Just stop.
Stop now.
Yeah, you're just going to disown them anyway.
Yeah, right. So
blame them on studio meddling.
What studio? Okay.
So Sarah goes to the abortion clinic, but does not get an abortion. The doctor, however, does die of rectal hemorrhaging.
That was a funny joke from the secretary.
Miss Scraper was, I don't know. First, I wrote her down as Dr. Malfair.
Oh, yeah, her, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
her.
Malfair.
But
That's
I guess she was Miss Scraper, and I forgot to write down who Dr. Cassidy was, but he looks so familiar.
Yeah,
with the white hair and the.
You know who he is? He's Stuart. What's his name from Kabuki Man?
Oh, that's the same guy.
Yeah, he was the bad guy, and remember the Stuart something deal?
Him. Yeah.
Something
That
account?
guy. Okay.
Yeah, him.
His hair wasn't nearly as fabulous.
Hey.
The main bad guy.
Yeah. What was the name? What was the name of the company?
Stuart Pentax.
Pentax. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Pandex.
Pandex.
Stuart.
Oh, that's right. Pandex.
Stuart Pandex.
Yep.
Pandex. Yes.
I would just like to point out that like the second instrument she held up, that's just the big screw thing that she was like, we're going to put this in you to get the baby.
The dog anchor?
The
dog anchor. Yeah.
The dog tie out. I was just like, wait, we sold those at the pet store.
The giant corkscrew. Yeah, the way that they just like played both sides of the abortion argument in this really crass way was so stupid. It's just like here we are in the murder factory, and then we walk outside and here's all the Christians with their signs like, Jesus, this isn't fucking punk rock at all. You guys are stupid.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not taking a side. They're not making a. Yeah. So
like the hangers on the fucking on the rack in the back, and I'm like, that's not what an abortion clinic's about. That's what happens.
And
don't have an abortion clinic, you fucking idiots.
The sign that said plastic coat hangers equals safe abortion.
Yeah.
It's
so
stupid.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, just sorry, that shit bothered the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Okay, so back in Amortville, Chester and Claire find Toxie in the dump. Chester tells him he's going to get him back home, and then there's a montage with a really peppy little like acoustic rock pop song.
Yeah,
science montage.
It was a fun montage. Yeah.
Sweetie Honey performs some sophisticated physics math on the chalkboard, and I don't know if anybody noticed, but it was the same chalkboard that it's Dr. Flem Hawking's chalkboard.
Yeah.
So erased. Like barely erased was his previous obligatory exposition about the two worlds coming together. That was like still sort of on the background of the chalkboard while she's doing the math.
Okay.
Low budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. We only have the budget for one chalkboard.
Right.
And 15 seconds to erase the original content.
Okay, so then Chester tells that Toxie that all he has to do is wear ruby slippers and click his heels 3 times to get home. He warns that it's not an exact science and they could end up in a crazy different dimension or travel through time.
Apparently, the key to interdimensional travel was in The Wizard of Oz all along.
Yeah,
all along.
And I did notice that the ruby slippers props were literally a pair of bedroom slippers that were covered in red glitter.
Well, they had to fit over his like giant Toxie shoes.
Yeah.
His weird Ewok feet.
Yeah. So Tito decides to stay in that dimension to fight evil while Toxie and Sweetie do the thing and leave.
And I'm sorry, Thoreau, I'm going to make you say it. I'm going to try to make you say it. So he stays behind to protect the citizens of Amortville as the
what was it, Al? I know it was
his superhero name
was the
Jesus, I remember.
It was the
Revenger.
Revenger.
The Revenger.
Yeah.
There's a word, just a word before that.
Yeah.
So stupid.
The Revenger.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It is what it is. So
yeah, exactly. I feel like apologizing to people and I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So Sweetie and Toxie pop onto the set of a porno in the 70s.
70s gay porno.
Yes. Then they end up in heaven where God.
Okay. What a white trash redneck fever dream of a. Woo, heaven was a weird.
Yeah.
So you popped into heaven, and there's a sign saying heaven population 16.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting commentary.
Yeah.
It's like the good place.
Very little of us.
Exactly.
Very few of us. I mean,
Yeah.
And God was portrayed by Hank the Angry Drunken Dwarf.
And he was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He was fucking awesome. That guy.
The comment about the Pope.
The Pope thing.
The Pope comment was the second thing that made me laugh.
Right. He was like,
That shit was-
tell him
that
to stop
stupid
talking
fucking
about
hat.
And you tell the Pope to stop talking about me. He doesn't know me. He's an asshole. And tell him that his hat looks fucking stupid.
Fucking stupid.
Well, this is John Paul was still Pope too, right? So we were in conservative Pope land. I mean,
Whenever they find the cure,
the Pope, all conservative Pope land.
Right.
I just invented a disease that is even deadlier. Even more deadlier. Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah. So he sends him back to Tromaville to beat up the murderers and rapists. Toxie and Sweetie arrive home in Toxie's shack where Kabuki Man is drinking his cares away. Kabuki Man tells Toxie what's been going on and that Noxie is holed up in the hospital with pregnant Sarah as his hostage, so Toxie runs off to stop him. Meanwhile, in the hospital, Sarah's going...
And, wait, Kabuki Man hits on Sweetie Honey, gives her some booze.
Yes, he does.
And then takes advantage of her. Right?
That's gross. That's really bad.
Yeah. Poor Kabuki. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But later on, she's like, I'm
Kabuki
a big
Man
girl.
used to be a man of
Kabuki Man.
principle.
He was NYPD.
The chosen one.
Yeah.
He's on the police, man.
I say this sequel's a fraud, and the others are canon.
Right. Two is the only one I like. I've discovered.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same. I liked Kabuki Man. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Kabuki Man was fine. All right. So in the hospital, Sarah's going into labor. Toxie arrives and starts beating up the army of Nazi guards, killing them, and he kills Nazi Ted. Let's see. Toxie.
The Nazi gang was pretty funny, I will say. Just like they got everybody that was whatever ethnicity and dressed them like a Nazi and gave them a hip.
It made me laugh that
they say that's funny, but like
Filipino skinhead that he had.
Yeah.
It made me laugh that they all had the mustache. That was funny.
That was the detail that really sold the Nazi gang for me.
Yeah, I thought Hitler ruined that for everyone, but
and they
Michael
had a
Jordan
black.
proved it's wrong.
They had a black Nazi.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah,
it was just interesting, just as a funny
equal opportunity. Yeah.
Well, let's not forget.
Just put on the mustache. You're fine.
Up until recently, people just kind of made fun of Nazis, like they were this thing that was considered ridiculous. The neo-Nazis.
They were meant to be clownish.
Blues Brothers and, but that's...
Mel Brooks.
Unfortunately, that's not the case any longer.
No.
Yeah.
Shit's getting real.
Yeah.
Well, how did fascists become the norm?
I don't know.
How? Yeah, exactly. I can't understand. Yeah, right.
All right, so Toxie finds Sarah and Noxie, and then... we see the fetuses in the womb. A shot that will haunt my nightmares for years to come.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
Oh my
God.
God.
Battling each other. Oh God.
Inside of a womb.
Just covered.
Inside whatever that cave was.
Right. So they built that. They built the weird vaginal cave.
And those
they
masks.
made the doll heads.
The masks.
The heads were so huge.
And they were just covered.
Big enough to be unsettling.
They were just
haunting, man.
Covered in brown and pink goo everywhere.
And unlike most of his movies, which always have a lot of adorable children, there were no adorable children in this.
No, none.
Yeah.
And this is what we got.
The fetus fight was the closest thing.
I hated the fetus fight with every ounce of my being.
It was so bad.
I think all the parents in Staten Island figured out, like, let's not let our kids in these fucking movies anymore.
I just
this guy's
saw
a
that.
total.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's
Totally
already made
right.
3. By the 4th movie, the word is out.
Right.
And his kids are old and not cute anymore, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right.
It's 2000. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Noxie. All right, so yeah, they fight, then Toxie and Noxie fight, then Noxie gets advantage, gets the drop on Toxie and whips it out to rape him.
I'm sorry to cut it off as such a burning point, but just prior to this, they had like the lightsaber sounds.
Yeah.
Noxie had the double-headed mop.
Yeah,
it was red. Oh, and by the way, that's how we knew he was evil. That his mop was red.
Oh my god! I didn't realize
the whole movie.
Oh my god! Yeah. Well, yeah,
Layers.
They are definitely referencing episode 1, which was probably out while they were filming.
Yeah,
layers.
Yeah, layers.
Very thin layers.
So, yeah, the penis.
The penis.
That's
what you're gonna call it.
The monster penis.
Let's talk about the penis in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just go. Toxie solves the problem because he's like, "Oh, I'll make it explode." So Toxie, it's like a reverse reach around. He's reaching behind him, grabbing.
That's my favorite go-to. The reverse reach around.
Yeah.
My favorite wrestling move.
For real.
Yeah, that toothed, open-mouthed penis was the most terrifying thing in this whole movie.
Dear God.
Yeah, there's a Nightmare on Elm Street where Freddy becomes this like large worm.
Yeah.
I remember.
But it's pink and wrinkled. You know, it's flesh tone. Yeah, just reminded me of that.
Yeah, totally.
This and the 2 fetuses reminded me of the alien baby from Resurrection.
Oh,
just slimy grossness,
God.
like that uncanny valley reaction.
Well, the 2 babies fighting reminded me of the Odd Couple from Sergeant Kabuki.
All right, so yeah, Noxie's penis explodes, and then the good baby kills the bad baby, and Toxie rips Noxie's organs out, and an unmutated Melvin crawls out of his body.
Yeah, Melvin returned.
Melvin.
Back from...
So he was made out of plastic. He was a fake Toxic Avenger. He was like a manufactured.
Oh, right.
Toxic Avenger. I had no fucking idea what you were getting at with that shit.
He had a fake heart.
Yeah.
That pulled out, and his dick was fake. His eye was fake. Yeah,
like
it was
a club chick.
Oh,
colon was fake.
So the plastic surgery place was making him into the noxious offender. Okay.
Little by little. Okay.
Potentially, yes.
All right. I get it.
Layers, I guess.
Layers, like, yeah, the layers in a dump.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so yeah,
that's a legitimate scientific field, by the way, to go into a trash dump and like go down through the layers and find, excavate and
all I want to say is
discover time.
That was poetry.
Thank you.
Well, on Kimmy Schmidt, Titus goes through a dump and he's excavating and he knows how far down he's going based on the objects he finds.
Yeah.
Like a Discman at one point and Atari at first.
I mean, you could also just check like the wrappers on food. They've all got a date punch on them. Gross. I can smell it already watching this movie.
Ugh. I cannot imagine what this movie would smell like if it had a smell.
Like excavating a dump.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So back to Evil Melvin.
Yeah.
He emerges. Toxie has to fight him off and is forced to throw him out a window into
a barrel of toxic chemicals where he bursts into flames and runs away.
And he's like, "Oh no, not this again!"
Yelling,
screaming, "I'll be back if there's a sequel."
Mm-hmm.
Time is a flat circle, man. We are back at the very beginning.
You're already in the next sequel.
Yeah. Oh shit. Here we go again.
They're going to reuse a bunch of the footage anyway, so you might as well.
By the time they make the next movie, they'll just use footage from all 4 of the other movies to make the 5th movie.
Exactly.
They don't have to shoot anything.
Oh my God. Don't give him ideas. Don't give him ideas.
I was complaining in Toxic Avenger 3 that they didn't use Mark Torgl for Melvin.
Yeah.
And at least they did. They brought Mark Torgl back for this one.
Yeah.
Well, and in 3, it was a money dispute is why he wouldn't come back. So
that's correct. Yeah.
Apparently they sweetened the pot for him.
He's a tough egg to crack. He's like Bruce Willis.
Right.
He's like, I'm getting paid.
$2 million or he doesn't do the flick.
You want to volunteer? That's your fucking bag. I'm getting paid.
All right. Yeah, he runs away. Oh, wait. So Sarah gives birth to their son. The special kids come in along with Sergeant Kabuki Man. Pompey, who's a nurse in this dimension with a body, reveals that a second baby was born, and it looks just like Sergeant Kabuki Man. Kabuki Man runs away from Toxie as the scene freezes. Police from Naked Gun style.
Yeah.
Naked Gun style, does that mean like everybody freezes in the frame?
Right.
And kind of
and
moves around a little bit?
Yeah, and Kabuki Man comes in and walks around, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, that was just, they were just doing that bit.
And then we see Lloyd showering with the diaper.
As he gets trapped in the evil dimension.
Yes.
Right, and the voiceover
and has to confront his evil doppelganger, and the voiceover is pretty apt. Like, it's pretty poignant for the shitstorm we just saw about, protecting our world and each other and blah, blah, blah. But yeah.
Was it Stanley?
So he has
doing the voiceover at the end?
It was
Stanley again, yes.
Okay, yeah. We got him on the front and the back.
Stan the man. Got him coming and going.
Hey.
I hope he got paid a lot of money for this. Marvel could probably use the money at this point.
Right.
And then suddenly the end title credits become from Club Paradise. Like, the song was so fun. And I don't know.
Like it was
like
romp.
one of those 80s romps. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
But it was a decent song, and so was the Jack-o'-lantern song, whatever that was called.
Yeah.
The 2 songs at the end.
Yeah, I mean, the music was all pretty fine. I checked it seems it was all just like local unsigned bands that were doing it. I didn't recognize any of the names in the credits.
The only one I caught was the title was Go Fuck Yourself by the band Facial. I don't remember hearing it, but that was a couple Wesley Willis songs were in the credits, which is pretty cool. I wonder if Wesley saw it and said, "Wow, I'm mentally handicapped. You did a great movie, Lloyd."
Lloyd.
Just realized.
So that's.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing in the credits, I noticed they quoted Sense and Sensibility. What was after you finish that cheeseburger, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
that was funny.
I'm going to use that for the rest of my life.
Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this movie. It was what it was.
Muy malo.
Yeah. Do Do you guys have any final thoughts?
It was, I want to say it was the best last Toxic Avenger movie.
Better be the fucking last Toxic Avenger movie.
Better be. For like the last 10 years, he's been like talking it up, trying to get something together.
And, you know, I bet you people have gone back and watched these movies and gone, nah, it's all right. I won't return that call.
We're good.
All right. About 70%.
Because imagine somebody hitching their cart to this idea today. Right. You couldn't make a Toxic Avenger today.
Oh,
I
God.
hope no.
No.
I hope not.
Not
I hope
like this.
If you were in this movie today, people would be like, nah, bro, you're not making any more movies. Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
I hate to break it to you, but you're going to have to write a joke.
Yeah, seriously.
Bastard.
Yeah, for real. I don't think there were any jokes that Lloyd Kaufman probably wrote in this thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. If
there's so many
you
stolen
missed it
jokes in this fucking movie.
Right.
God, yeah. Like, everything is a stolen bit. Just going back through all of these movies. Nothing is original.
No, nothing.
Is original.
Nothing.
It's terrible. Not only would I not recommend it, I don't think people should watch it. I said that about the first one.
I don't just feel
I'm wrong.
stupider. I'm like, I feel way beyond stupider for having watched these movies.
My neighbor came over last night, and I told him what I was doing, that I was watching the Toxic Avenger 4 for the podcast, and he's listened to a couple of the podcasts. He really liked Blade and Spawn, but I told him what we were doing, and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna put that on my list of movies to watch." I was like, "No, please, you don't have to put Toxic Avenger on your movie list to watch. Please don't.
No.
Please don't."
Any of
He did.
Spooky, man.
He did anyway, but that's on him. I told him several times, you don't have to watch this.
It's so funny. Has everybody seen the movie Pink Flamingos by John Waters?
Yeah.
No.
This is his first movie.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's pretty disturbing all the way through. Like, there's a couple doing it, and the guy's killing a chicken while they're doing it. But at the very end, without a cut, without an edit, Divine picks up a piece of dog shit from the sidewalk and eats it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, no cuts, and they've said in interviews she really did that. But anyways, Kevin and Star, friends from Marivalka at the time, they lent it to Joseph and I. And before he handed it to me, I went and grabbed the box, and Kevin pulled it back a little. He's like, "Don't destroy this. Whatever you see, no matter how uncomfortable it is, don't destroy this tape." And we were like, "Okay." And then Joe and I finished it, and we're like, "Yeah, I want to destroy it."
Yeah.
Same thing here.
Yeah. It's definitely on that level. It's awful.
I got tricked into being offended.
The first time I watched this, I did have a dry heave moment.
Ooh.
Good. Yeah. Well, I had to turn my head, which I don't very often at all.
I had a dry heave moment early on with the diaper in the face, and
I ordered pizzas like in the middle of this movie, and I had to put them in the fucking fridge. I was like, I'd rather eat cold pizza than throw up pizza from watching this movie. I was very disappointed.
So anyways.
Yeah, so that's...
It can go at the very bottom of the line if you ask me.
Yeah, I'd say
we can discuss, like...
What's at the bottom? Superman 4?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Toxie 4 takes the
Yes,
cake.
it does. I would watch Superman 4 right now. I'm never going to...
Yeah. Given the choice, I'd watch Superman 4 twice today to never have to watch any Toxic Avenger movies ever again.
Yeah.
Al?
And I wouldn't have said that yesterday.
Right? Yeah.
Al, thoughts?
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
put it
I'm
at
cool.
the bottom. It was bad.
It was real fucking bad.
You know, Superman 4 didn't have any funny moments. This one did, but still, this was just a piece of shit.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah.
It was a piece of shit that somebody ate and then threw up. It was worse than a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So there we go. The 43, number 43 out of 43.
Number 43.
Fuck it.
That's it. We are done with trauma. That's it. No more trauma.
All right. Lloyd, we think sometimes we get what you're trying to do, and we can appreciate it, but yeah, I'm glad I never have to do it again.
Yeah. And so that's it for this week, guys. We're done with Toxie. We're done with We're done. We might just be done.
I wash my hands of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Next week, we are going back to Blade 2 with Mr. Guillermo del Toro next week. So hopefully that'll be a
Blade
breath of
2
fresh air.
comes with the ornamental paring knife and the bread cutting knife.
And
Blade 2, the assortment.
I don't want to spoil it for our listeners, but after Blade 2, things are going to get pretty exciting and interesting. I'll tell you guys after we're off air. You listeners won't find out till next week. But so that's it.
All right.
Everybody, thank you for listening. I'm just trying to act like a cool cat. The other cool cats my age. This has been Throw Smiley.
I'm Josh Cece. And you know, Sarah, I feel really good about the sex we just had.
I'm Brian Leshin. Dear Lloyd Kaufman, please don't make any more movies. Thank you.
I'm Alaric Weber. If you need me, I'll be in the snack bar having nachos.
Hospital snack bar.
Oh, that's it. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Harmless Phosphorescence was brought to you by executive producers Atticus Burkett and Michael Beckwith, and producers Alyssa Dent, Hedda Paulson, and Jojo Birchtree. Harmless Phosphorescence is a production of the Harmless Entertainment Network.